And now, please welcome our platform party, led by University of Maryland University College President Javier Miares and UMUC Provost and Senior Vice President for Academic Affairs, Dr. Marie C. Ladies and gentlemen, would you please rise for our national anthem, which will be performed by Janae Thompson English, one of today's graduates. Graduates, please leave your caps on during this national anthem. Our president will honor the flag on your behalf by removing his.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we held at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the
Please be seated. And now, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome University of Maryland University College President Javier Miyares.
Good afternoon, graduates, family members, friends, colleagues, and honored guests. Our graduates have traveled many miles to walk across our stage. They have devoted many hours to earn their degrees. And as I look across the arena, I am filled with a sense of pride for all that you have accomplished. I speak for everyone at UMUC when I say that it has been our honor to help you in the pursuit of your goals and your dreams. Today, you represent our greatest achievement, and we are so proud to recognize and celebrate your success. I am also honored to offer a special salute to our active duty members of the U.S. military and to our veterans who are graduating today. Your service to our country has earned the respect and admiration of a grateful nation, and we are so pleased and honored that you have selected UMUC as your university of choice. May I ask our graduating military service members, our veterans, and the members of their families to please stand and be recognized. Thank you. Let us take a moment to acknowledge those and say thank you to those who have been along the way with you, to the husbands, wives, partners, children, parents, grandparents, aunts, uncles, teachers, friends, who offer their love and encouragement along the road to these days. Congratulations to all you who made this possible. The heart and soul of every university is its faculty. Today, we offer a special thanks to the educators and mentors of our graduates. Would our UMUC faculty members please rise and be recognized? I would now like to introduce distinguished members of the UMUC community who have joined us on the platform for today's ceremony. Dr. Marie Sini, Provost and Senior Vice President for Academic Affairs. Dr. Ari Krause, Vice Provost and Dean of the Graduate School. Dr. Matthew Prinias, Acting Vice Provost and Dean of the Undergraduate School. Dr. Maggie Cohn, Chair of the Faculty Advisory Council. Mr. Rob Wilmot, Chair of the University Advisory Council. Ms. Jessica Grubbs, Chair of the Adelphi Staff Advisory Council. Ms. Fran Vollel-Steck, Chair of the Alumni Association of UMUC. And Ms. Sharon Pinder, Member of the UMUC Board of Visitors. We thank you all. Now it is my privilege to introduce Semin Manisadi, a member of the University System of Maryland Board of Regents, the governing board for UMUC and all public universities within the state of Maryland. Regent Manisari also happens to be a student himself, pursuing a dual degree in physics and electrical engineering in Salisbury University and the University of Maryland College Park.
Good afternoon. I'm delighted to join you and extend the best wishes from the University System of Maryland on behalf of the Board of Regents on this tremendous day. It is an honor to share this day with UMUC President Javier Miyares, whose commitment to academic excellence and insightful leadership continues to serve UMUC as a dynamic, worldwide campus and the academic institution of the United States Armed Forces. My pride in joining you today comes from two distinct yet connected areas. I'm pleased to join you in my capacity as the Student Regent with the University System of Maryland Board of Regents. As you may know, many university system boards of regents have no student representation whatsoever, let alone a student who serves as a full-time member. It is a tremendous privilege and important duty to serve as the voice for the student population in this governing body. I take this obligation very seriously. But I'm also extremely proud to be here this afternoon as a fellow student within the USM. I know firsthand the hard work and dedication it has taken each of you to reach this milestone, or almost, I still have some years left. You and your friends and family members can take a great deal of pride in what you have accomplished. The University System of Maryland certainly takes pride in the success of UMUC, but it's your accomplishments and hard work that we celebrate today. What you have accomplished has taken hard work, persistence, and dedication. I also know your family and friends take a great deal of pride in what you have accomplished. They have shared in your sacrifice and certainly should share in your success today. Pursuing an education is always a challenge, no matter the circumstances. But pursuing one while also balancing your career and family responsibilities, as many of you have done, is an amazing feat. I speak for the entire university system when I say how proud we are of you and the University of Maryland University College. We offer you our heartiest congratulations and our best wishes for success. Thank you.
Thank you, Regent Manisari. One of the great traditions of commencement is a keynote address. It is an opportunity to hear from someone whose achievements and words can inspire all of us. Our keynote speaker this afternoon is Major General Roderick Isler, a 33-year veteran of the U.S. Armed Forces and a graduate of UMUC Europe. Born into a military family, he was drafted into the U.S. Army during the Vietnam conflict and attended officer candidate school in Fort Benning, Georgia. During his military career, he held a variety of command and intelligence positions, serving as senior intelligence officer in both Korea and Bosnia-Herzegovina. He served at the National Security Agency and later at the Central Intelligence Agency as Director for Military Support. Then moved to the Defense Intelligence Agency, where he served as Director of Operations until his retirement in 2002. After retiring from the military, he joined General Dynamics, where he became Vice President and General Manager of the Integrated Intelligence, Surveillance, and Reconnaissance System Division, managing people and facilities in Maryland, Virginia, California, and Minnesota, as well as in Asia and the Middle East. Following his retirement from General Dynamics, he began his own consulting firm and has served on various boards supporting new startup businesses in the intelligence community. Along with his UMUC degree, he holds degrees from the University of Shippensburg and the U.S. War College, and is a member of the Army's Officer Candidate School and the Military Intelligence Hall of Fame. Before General Isler offers his address, we would like to present him with an honorary degree. General Isler, will you please come forward In accordance with the policies of the University System of Maryland Board of Regents, University of Maryland University College may award to an outstanding individual who has made a major contribution in an intellectual, scholarly, or creative area, or who has risen to a position of eminence in his or her chosen field, or acquired a national or international reputation in a selected field of endeavor, or who has compiled a record of distinguished public service. Major General Isler, you have served your country with distinction for more than 30 years before moving on to a career in the private sector, where your team at General Dynamics provided critical system solutions and support to the U.S. Department of Defense, the intelligence community, and international mission partners. You have been very generous with your time, serving as chair of the board of directors for the Hospice of the Chesapeake and as vice president of the campaign to raise funding for the construction of the new Cyber Center for Education and Innovation, which will become the home of the National Cryptologic Museum. A pioneer in the fields of international intelligence and cybersecurity, you have been recognized by your peers and inducted into the Military Intelligence Hall of Fame. Today, we celebrate and honor your achievements and service to your country with a degree of Director of Public Service. Under the authority granted by the State of Maryland to the Board of Regents of the University System of Maryland, and by that board delegated to me, I hereby confer upon you the degree of Doctor of Public Service with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities thereto appertaining. Congratulations, General.
Well, good afternoon, everybody, in class of 2014. And let me begin, first of all, by thanking you, President Javier Miyares, for those kind remarks and introductory remarks, and for this prestigious award honorary degree that you bestowed on me today. You know, 8-9 months ago when you asked me to do this, you didn't tell me about this part of it. So it's an ad lib, but it's very nice. My whole family are very, very appreciative of that, and thank you very much. You know, my wife and I are truly honored to be here today and join you and your graduates and your families and guests. And of course, being a proud graduate of this institution myself, it's a special honor for me to be here today. You know, 44 years ago, 1968, I was drafted into the military at the height of the Vietnam War, and I actually enlisted into the military intelligence field as an enlisted soldier, and I couldn't go to Vietnam because my dad was there, and so I could not go there, so they sent me to Turkey. Nice place, had never been there before, and when I got there and in process, I ran across a Department of the Air Force civilian named Dr. Berlin. And he said, you know, Isler, I've been looking at your files. I see you've got some college credits in several different colleges. How would you like to graduate from the University of Maryland? And I said, well, that's back in Maryland. I'm not sure how we're going to do that here in Karamsel, Turkey. He said, well, you just listen to me, and I'll get you through this. I've cleared it with your superiors, and we'll take care of you and we'll get you graduated. What I didn't know at that time, we had the University of Maryland European Division, as it was called in those days, and Karamsel, Turkey, south of Istanbul, was called the University of Maryland Southern Campus, and it really was. And so I listened to Dr. Berlin, and I had to go to work with a 24/7, very important, exceedingly important intelligence mission that was 24/7, days, swings, and mids. And so I did what he told me. I went to school 4 nights a week and every day at noon. And in January of 1970, I walked across that stage at Heidelberg, Germany, and got my degree. That was quite an opportunity. Thank you very much. And with that in mind, I'd like to join the list of congratulatory folks that are here today for every one of you graduates, and thank you for your hard work and dedication in getting this far and graduating here today. And please accept my sincere congratulations to you for your accomplishments. This is certainly a great day for each of you. It's a great day for your families and your friends, certainly a great day for the faculty and the university itself. And I tell you what, I don't know who's more proud, you and your family or me being here and having the opportunity to talk with you today. Again, congratulations. Now, thank you. Now, I struggled with what I was going to say here today, and of course I only got a few minutes. And of course I got counsel driving over here by my wife to keep it short. She's heard me up here before over the years. But I just want to cover a couple of things with you. You know, this is not the end of the road for you graduates. We're all on a journey. I'm still on a journey. And I want to talk to you about continuation of that journey as you move forward. And I want to talk to you a little bit about the do's and don'ts associated with that journey. And I might share just a few anecdotal things that happened to me that I thought it was going to throw me off my journey, but I worked through it, and that's why I'm here today. And I'm going to end up with just a couple of principles that I've stuck with for over 40 some odd years. I've had a lot of bosses. I've had some great jobs. And along the way, I've learned some do's and don'ts as you get out there in that workplace, and I thought I'd share some of those with you. You know, you may feel that getting here today, and rightfully so, that's the end of a long journey. But really, in my view, you're just getting started. Now, I know we have some master degree completion graduates here today, as well as business administration, Bachelor of Arts degree graduates here today. But I think what I'm going to say here today applies to all of you. You know, on my graduation day, that was a turning point in my career. It opened up more doors than I even knew that were out there to be open. And I know you're going to find that out as you leave here today and walk across this podium with that degree and join that workforce. No matter how detailed your ideas are of what you want to do and what you want to do when you grow up and what kind of journey you're going to be on, there's going to be some forks in the road out there. There's going to be some branches and sequels that may or may not, that could be in the way of your dreams and the journey that you would like to be on. And so you may have to adjust your plan accordingly. As an illustration, after I got my commission and I was in my schooling for military intelligence, somebody came along and said, hey, you know, Isler, I think maybe you ought to become a pilot and you ought to start flying airplanes and get into aerial reconnaissance. That's quite a program, and I think you'd make a good aerial reconnaissance platform intelligence officer. And I said, okay, I think I'll do that. And oh, by the way, there was some flight pay associated with that. In those days, that sounded real good to me. So off I went to Fort Rucker, and I went to flight school. Well, a year and so many months later, and I graduated, guess what? Those requirements went away. The Vietnam War was winding down. The aerial reconnaissance program became non-existent. And there I was with all this flight stuff, but no military intelligence kind of job. So in the Army, in its great wisdom, said, you're going to go to Panama and you're going to go flying. We're going to get money back from you, but you're not going to do military intelligence. And when I got down to Panama, that happened to me. I went 3 years of flying up and down Central and South America. I built up all my flight time, but not much military intelligence. But guess what? Some 4 or 5 years later, that came back, aerial reconnaissance came back in, other adversaries popped up around the world, and that mission became alive and well. And the Army said, hey, we got any MI commissioned officers out there that know how to fly airplanes and know how to do military intelligence? Raised my hand, said, yeah, you got one here, already been trained, let's get on with it. And that's what happened. I thought I was going to lose that journey, but I stuck with it. And oh, by the way, that paid big dividends for me later. It even paid dividends when I got into the civilian private sector, where the offerings that we had in General Dynamics was in the aerial reconnaissance, the UAVs and all of that stuff that really paid big dividends for our company and so on. So it helped me out later on. Next thing that happened, they asked me to handle and work with the program development of all of our military intelligence commissioned officers from lieutenant colonel and below. It was my responsibility to work out a career path, work out a journey for them on whatever career path within military intelligence they wanted to pursue. You know, if you wanted to be an attaché, we worked out a career program for that. We got them off to a language school and that sort of thing and took care of them and got them on a career path. If they wanted to be a spy, we got them into the right kind of schooling for that. If they wanted to be a general analyst, we worked with them, and we also got the assignments and sent those people around the world. Again, not a whole lot to do with that journey that I was on in military intelligence, but I stuck with it. It paid big dividends, and what I'm trying to say to you is you're going to have some of these pitfalls. You're going to have some of these changes as you move out in the areas that you want to go to, and just stick with it. Sooner or later, I think it'll work out. You know, there's a lot of changes going on, and you need to be prepared for those. We got changes in the workplace. We got changes in the work environment. We got changes with new career requirements, new job opportunities. You know, I heard one the other day. An individual told me, you know, my career is getting all messed up. I think my job's up in the cloud somewhere. Could be. Or it's off in cyberspace. I said, well, stick around. There'll be other opportunities, and we'll get you back on track. But probably the best example is cyber and the cyber business. I'll tell you what, 4 or 5, 6 years ago, that word was not in any of our lexicons. And if it was in our lexicon, really people didn't have a good definition of what cyber meant. They thought they did, but in reality, they just took a current mission and they attached cyber to it because they thought that that's where the money was, or that's where the new opportunities. Well, we're way past that today. And I'm just tickled to death that this university and others like it are actually offering cyber degree completion programs. And it's my understanding we got a few cyber folks out there today, and my hat's off to you, and congratulations. And along those lines, I'm so happy to be collaborating with your president and faculty in working with our new Cyber Center of Education and Innovation, which is the home of the National Cryptologic Museum. President Miyares is going to join our founders group, and he's going to help us flesh out that E in that acronym for education. And we're going to work with our agencies and better define the requirements which would flow back into the university and flow back into the education system, and hopefully define the requirements for future cyber and cyber individuals. You know, cyber is not just military and not just for a government. It's all over. It's in all of our institutions, cybersecurity. It's with our banking. It's within our retail sales. Just ask the CEO and CFO of Target. I think they wish they would have paid a little bit more attention with cybersecurity. They may have their job today had they not shortchanged that a few years ago. So it's really good, and I'm tickled to death that that UMUC has taken that on in a big way. And you know, this is going to help out our entire society. Cyber is global, it's international, and this educational requirement is on behalf of our larger society. And I'm really glad that we got some new cyber experts coming into the workforce very soon. Now, as I said earlier, I would be remiss if I didn't share a few little do's and don'ts, a few principles that have served me well in different kinds of jobs throughout my 44-year career. And by the way, that career is still ongoing. I'm still doing some things here and there, as Javier pointed out a while ago. But I think, let me just share a couple of these with you. It really doesn't matter which job you're going into, whether it's a program manager or in your own business. Some of these principles I review every time I get a new job, and I review them and I add or delete as I go into the future. First of all, you're all gonna have a mission, and mission is first. It's always first. Now, I'm not just talking about a mission in taking that hill as a military mission. I'm talking about numbers that you're going to have to meet as a vice president or as a director, or it's some of those marketing goals and objectives, or it's students that you're going to have to graduate, but that mission is first. But in order to accomplish that mission, you're going to have some people, and you're going to have some things. And so I would put that in the category of just about the same priority as accomplishing that mission. You're not going to accomplish that mission without good people and good equipment and things to help you do that. Secondly, we're all going to have bosses. We all have bosses. I even have bosses today in my retirement. Know your bosses, know what their objectives are, and support them. They need your help to succeed, and they need you to succeed. And I know that's always not going to be pleasant, and I know you're not always going to like your boss, and guess what? He's not going to like you maybe, but stick with it. It'll help you. And what goes around comes around. Don't burn your bridges. I'm going to tell you, in 44 years, there's a couple of bosses out there that I work for, and later on, they work for me. It's amazing how that goes. And thank God I didn't burn those bridges, because together we kept that journey going, even when they worked for me later on. Seek and take those tough jobs. They're out there. You know what they are. Even if you think you're not qualified, go after them. And I tell you what, if somebody offers you a tough job, take it. Don't wait around. And you know the old saying, if you're comfortable and you're content in your current job, you're probably not growing professionally. So seek those new jobs and seek those new ventures. And oh, by the way, it'll certainly help your resumes. Be ethical and trustworthy. That's in the news a lot lately. It's been there for a long time. And oh, by the way, accept nothing less for the people that you work with and you work for. Very, very important. And as you get out there in that business world, and if you get working with international partners, remember their ethics are a little different than ours. And don't be swayed by that. We have a long list of folks at Leavenworth Prison who were in the contracting business in Afghanistan and Iraq who didn't understand the ethical side of this business. So that's very important. Pay attention to those classes as you get out into the workforce. And don't forget where you came from. You all got help along the way. So did I. Take care of those people. There's people out there who need your help, and you can help them along the way. I call that helping out the little guy. There's a lot of little guys out there that need help and assistance. So give them a hand like folks gave you a hand, and get them started on their journey. I don't care if they don't even have a high school GED. Get their GED, get them an endorsement, get them in school, and help them along. And you'll feel a lot better for it yourself. Take care of your people, and they'll certainly take care of you. And be consistent and accountable. Remember, what you say and do is noted. It's noted with the people you work with, it's noted by the people that work for you, and it's noted by the people who you work for. So be careful what you say and what you do, and think about it. It might come back to haunt you down the road. And finally, don't stop now in this education process. You need to continue that and keep going in that arena. Get educated in your work-related kinds of jobs, seek that kind of training, and also continue your advanced degree in professional education. So let me put a bow on this. If you didn't get anything else out of what I was trying to say today, just remember three things. One, what a great day. Congratulations to each and every one of you for your accomplishments. It's really a great day for you and your families and everybody else. Two, get started on that journey, get your career path going, and don't stop here. Capitalize and harness that self-determination, that drive that got you here today, and propel that into the future for your own career paths and your own journey. And three, don't forget the little guy. You know, there were examples for me to follow, and there were examples for you to follow. Well, guess what? You are the examples now. Grab a hold of these young folks and set the example and get them on their journey just like you and propel them into the future. Again, folks, thank you very, very much for having me here today. Go out and do great things. I know you will continue to make you and your family proud. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, General Isler, for those inspiring words. Graduates, this is a day to look back at what you have learned in order to achieve this goal. It is a day to look around in awareness at those who helped you achieve it. It is a day to look ahead to a brighter future because of the investment that you have made in yourselves. As adult learners, the challenges you've faced have been different than those of traditional college students. In many cases, you arrived at UMUC with families, jobs, and a host of life experiences. Most of you have not had the luxury of being able to study throughout the day and to take your weekends off. You have had to make time for your studies, and that meant taking time away from other responsibilities. It has not been an easy road, and we know that. So speaking on behalf of your professors, let me say how proud we are of your achievements. On this day, you don't need role models. Today, you are the role models for us and for everyone in this arena. Today, you prove that you have what it takes. And what it takes is the courage, fortitude, and perseverance that you exemplify. And I congratulate you. Each year, the university selects a member of the graduating class to speak on your behalf. Someone who represents the special attributes of UMUC students. And today's student speaker, Lucy Laramie, certainly fits that bill. Ms. Laramie has earned her Master of Science degree with a nonprofit association management specialization. Her family joins us today in the audience in celebration and in pride of her accomplishments. So please welcome Lucy Laramie.
President Miades, graduates, distinguished faculty and staff, family and friends, honored guests. Less than 2 years ago, on what would have been an otherwise quiet Friday evening in October 2012, I was driving home from work to my high-rise in downtown Atlanta when my Toyota Prius was rear-ended by a fully loaded 18-wheel tractor trailer. As I stuttered my words and tears rolled down my cheeks, I thought about my education and career goals as a doctor told me I had a traumatic brain injury. Only one thing was certain: uncertainty. It seems ironic to describe healing as arduous. Healing has required over 200 visits with doctors, neurologists, ophthalmologists, psychiatrists, psychologists, a neuro-ophthalmologist, an audiologist, a physical therapist, a speech pathologist, and the result has been more than 23 diagnoses related to my accident. Paradoxically, one of my self-discoveries has been that one of my greatest strengths involves stark stubbornness. As I was trying to figure me out after the accident, my family and doctors held their breath as I declared that I was returning to school after also returning to work. There is a quote that I remember, though I don't know the author. To know who and what you are, you must find out who and what you are not. There is one thing I am not, and that is a quitter. As I pushed forward on my simultaneous journeys toward recovery and toward my degree, I came to embrace 3 imperatives that I would like to share with you today. First, live life like it is your second chance. Imagine for one moment that an 18-wheeler collides with your life. What would be your greatest fear? Behind those things are the things that matter the most. These are the things that drive you. Hold on to those things and never let them go. As leaders in a global economy, we will be challenged to help others focus on what is critically important. When we encourage that focus, we will help others do their best work. Second, we must learn what is worth worrying about. After my accident, I tried to return to work immediately. My speech was affected by the brain injury, and I stammered and sputtered through my job. But I couldn't worry about the aftermath of the accident because I was focused on what was most important to me, the at-risk youth in my program and those who depended on me most. You may wonder, why not worry about the fact that you were just whacked by a semi-truck? And in response to you, I say, why worry about the things that are not in your control? I couldn't change my injury or the funny looks I received when I spoke awkwardly, but I could continue to make a positive impact in the lives of young people. My third imperative, you must be persistent and never give up. James Whitcomb Riley wrote, "The most essential factor is persistence, the determination never to allow your energy or enthusiasm to be dampened by the discouragement that must inevitably come. Graduation is no guarantee that our darkest days are over. Rather, our degree symbolizes the resilience and intellectual foundation we have built that prepares us to navigate the dark days and tackle the world's greatest challenges. Today, we stand equipped, and our dexterity, integrity, and creativity will move us forward. Finally, it is during the dark times that we can see the true colors of the people around us. After my accident, my mother closed the 5,000-mile gap between us and moved in with me for 4 months to help with my recovery. None of us would be where we are today without the love and support of our peers, family, and friends. They recognize the value of our goals and believe in our potential. On behalf of the class of 2014, I thank those who have cared for us during our path to a degree. You have paved the road to our success. Walt Disney said, "We keep moving forward, opening new doors and doing new things because we're curious, and curiosity keeps leading us down new paths." Congratulations, class of 2014, as you explore your new paths. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Lucy, for sharing your remarkable and courageous story. You are simply amazing, and we wish you all the best. And now the time has arrived to present our graduates for individual recognition. On Friday morning, our doctoral candidates were honored in a separate and very special commencement on our campus. Today, we will call the names of our master's and bachelor's candidates and confer those degrees. Every name we call today is of great importance to us. We ask for your courtesy as each name is called so that all of our students and their guests can enjoy their special moments. Following the presentation of all graduates, we ask everyone to remain on the floor for the conferral of the degrees. Dr. Eric Krause, Vice Provost and Dean of UMUC's Graduate School, will now present our master's degree candidates. Dean Krause.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Sheeny. Good afternoon to our graduates, distinguished guests, and honored faculty. We will now present the candidates who are earning the following degrees: the Master of Arts in Teaching, the Master of Business Administration, the Master of Distance Education and E-Learning, the Master of Education and Instructional Technology, the Master of International Management, and the Master of Science. The hoods worn by our graduates symbolize their significant achievement and the investment they've made in their future. I ask that you join me in saluting these outstanding men and women as we acknowledge their academic accomplishments and wish them well in their professional endeavors. We are very proud of you. Candidates, you'll now be directed to the stage for individual recognition. Please remain in your seats until you are invited to come forward. Let us begin with the first graduates.
Salome Atadade Abija. Ali Abidi. Albert Abugaya. Jasmine Adams. Lenore Antoinette Adderley Pereira. Adeyinka Mashoud Adamadullah. Morinatu Adinyi Alapado. Emma Adoituya. Chimoa Minayaka Adiwa. Patrick Orak Abuguta. Arlie Ramon Aguirre. Terrence Roderick Akins. Clifford Agye Mensah. Oluwasium Akinlosotu. Horace Allen. Eric Alarcon. Muyanat Almarouf. Marlene Amos. Jewel Anderson. Nicholas Bellini Anderson. Mustafa Animashawan. Jocelyn Anthony Williams. Diana Arnold. Hiram Auguste. Bobby Awoisika. Fulusade Alukimi Agubusi. Anessa Azizi. Nafisa Azizi. Ayana C. Bailey. Betty Barrow. Mamadou Alpha Berry. Bessem Sarah Bate. Troy Beecham. Robert Elliott Bean IV. Robin Patrice Bellamy. Yonatan Berhe. Yesenia Bernal. Ian Bill. Lynn Bavona, Yolanda Body, Kavone U. Boone, Zeta Bradley Jr., Colby Brown, Marianne Rowan Brown, William Bradell, Valerie Brenner, Catherine Louise Brinson, Adrienne Brown, Danielle Brown, Evangela Louise Brown, Adedoyan Brown Adu, Jason Brown, Joel Brown, Gail Ann Bruce, Patricia Dion Buckley, Sinetra Yvette Bowie, Larry Urbano, Alvin Tyrone Butler Jr., Kiera Fenice Butler, William Camp, Pia Capra, Marie Lore Carson, Giuseppe E. Carpentieri, Akeem O. Carroll, Allison Nicole Carter, Christopher Dale Caton, Mayufe Changwe, Ravina Chase, Daniel Scott Chase, Farhan Raza Chaudhry, Julia Chanova, Kahinda Omawumni Chol, Tony Christian, Michael Chu, Dana Clark, Dinika Cole, Curtis Coleman, Yasmaline Cook, Randolph Cornish II, Samantha Joan Cowan, Emma Crowningshield, Lloydell Cummings, Emil Badibanga, Hyra Kumani, O'Neill Jefton Gray, Adesola Bada, Michael Zoka Dawn, George Anthony Daughtery, Nicole DeHart, Adiatu Teresa Day, Aaron Dennis, Miguel Angel Diaz, Charles K. Dickens, Eve Allen Jopa, Alicia Nicole Donaldson, Sarah Marie Doro, Carrie Duong, Avis Earl, Christy I. Ichidabu, Cheryl Ini, Marcelo A. Uzibe, Maureen Iziki, Selva Hala Fayad,
Barbara Felch, Suzanne Phoenix, John Marco Fincato, Jade Morgan Fish, Sherrod Fleming, Elmer Foreman, Elvin Fortuna, Elizabeth Foster, Barbara Jane Fowler, Elisa Kathleen Froyand, Mike Charles Galadia III, Joseph Gandarilas, Prince Alfred Garber, Kelly Gatsky, Kenya Jenneret, Oyetunji Stephen Folayan, Michael O'Neill Gentilis, Wade Giles, Dior Ginnard, John Gooding, Anthony Goodsmith, Carmen Gowie, Nicole Bianca Graham, Gabrielle Grant, Brandy N. Graziosi, Perry D. Green, Harry Green, Marlene Greenleaf, George Nii Gyamfi, Adam Joseph Grigg, Ann Guglick, Avadesh Kumar Gulati, Vicky Hahn, Melanie Patrice Hawkins, Nathan Bradford Hall, Elizabeth Hallman, Amina Hanoun, Jacqueline Hardy, Daryl Kevin Hargrove Jr., Kenneth Hutchins, Jeffrey Harrison, Priscilla Vania Harrison, Danita Gilda Heathington, Anthony Hisham Henry, Joy Hart, Dion Hill, Carl Channing Hillway, Philip Ho, Tishwana Hodge, Brandon Cordell Hodnett, Ashley Renee Holmes, Chloe Patrice Hunter, Karen Hilton, Ebosele Sunny Iboi Ebhomilen, Trent Reginald Ingram, Lola Ire Koya, Calvin David Jackson III, Donzel Jackson, Christine K. James, David Francis Jarrett, Hashmal Jean-Philippe, Sharmira Johnson Orr, Jamar Johnson, LaDonna R. Johnson, LaToya Shanice Johnson, Lorraine Vanessa Johnson. Cornell Jones. Daryl R. Jones. Lakeisha Jones. Jared Jordan. Trevor Joseph Jules Sr. Samantha Kapoor. Daryl A. Keller. Taylor Kelly. Ebony Monique Kemp. Bridget King. Denise King. LaSharika King. Alexander Keone. Jerry Klotz. Kirk Kohler. Yuko Kojima. Uchechukwu Obianaujo Owele. Diana Kuhn. Yata Regina Kuyembe. Michael Kuweme. Michael Stephen Langdon.
Lucy Laramie. Tara Lee Larson. Aaron Lachlan. Eric I. Lindsay. Ashley Loomis. Robert Loomis. Rosalind Lockett. Regina Locust. Olanda Darlene Love. Jason Louie. Amit Luthra. Joan Y. Lewis. Amy Ann Ma. Marco Lahizo Madiga. Wesley Paul Madu. Ricardo Anthony Manderson. Timothy Manis. Derek Marandur. Joseph Moretti. Gary Edward Martin. Tanya Leah Mason. Mary McCall. Kevin Martin McGuire. Algie McLeod. Natasha McNeil. Melissa Mabane Rogers. Jeremy Meyer. Gladys Mendoza. Katila Miles. Kathia Miles. Laura Miffleton. Bernay Miller. Mohammed Hanif Miskin. David A. Mitchell. Quintanya Moat. Miriam Davina Mokwena. Nellie Montes de Lucas. Jason D. Moore. Natalie Maria Moreno. Roger Wayne Morris. Mark Moylan. Amber Marie Mueller. Mohammed Makhtar. Reginald Mack. Timothy P. Mullen. Kevin J. Malone. Albert Mundy. Kabir Molchandanani. Krishna Morty. Andreas Dominic Narain. Raja Zakiya Nelson. Martha Jacqueline Nicholson. Kenechukwu Kuchimeka Wando. Ricky O'Reilly Jones. Forloanshu Oluwanshola. Pamela Opata. Ashwin Oye. Odudu Sunday Akpangeta. McFarlane Akanata. Jenny O. Dennis Halfrath. Brian Dominic Palmer. Louisa Lynn Puffett. Sue Parler. Villette F. Prince. Lisa Pretty Johnson. Derek Allen Presley. Belinda Prather. Philip Monroe Poole. Jessica Plant. Rhiannon Pishaw. Kenneth Phillips. How Keat Fan. Robert Perkins. Mastiga Perare. Samped Pereira. Rosalind Camille Payne. Carrie Ann Payne. Kathleen Paul. Willa James Pass III. Gustave C. Esomo Masong. Jermaine Rather. Akia Reading.
Syed Sohem Raymond. Michelle Retman. Ilcia Rivas. Shahan Rizvi. Lakeisha Shante Robinson. Nadine Robinson. Sabrina Robinson. Sharika Layla Roberts. Jose Rodriguez. Yaritza Rodriguez. Michael Root. Timothy Chad Root. Marla S. Rudnick. Anita Sampson. Odessa Katumu Pakra. Henry Ivan Sanchez. Tia A. Sanders Smith. Kiata Huayniak Sanford. Anil Rudresh Sanakop. Catherine Schoenhals. Carissa Shorbach. Abrima Suwane. Patricia Schutz. Sasha Vernell Scipio. Abdul Fenty Sese. Christy M. Smith. Gregory Brian Shavers. Arun Sharma. Alamayahu Sise. Jessica Simpson. Oluwatoyin A. Sotola.
Michelle Spence. Yernique S. Spivey. Christian Starks. Cedric Strayhorn. Reginald Eugene Stevens II. Adeni Adedapo Talabi. Peter Ebetanyi. Edna Tarverdian. Emmeline Tata. Paula Thaxton. Tracy and Teresa. Sorry. Angeline Thomas. Adam Wayne Thompson. Shelby Jordan Tibbs. Shauna L. Tinsley. Tracy Teo. Mohammed Lamine Toure. Jared James Towers. Nyep D. Tron. Dwayne Travis. Moulton Turner Jr. Lisa Ann Turney. Eric Ryan Underwood. Shyamsakar Vedpatak. Servando Vigil. Christine Clark Varfley. Christopher James Villas. Alex Daniel Villers. Marie Villegas. Ariel Vinitsky. Ashley Ann Vogelsang. Crystal Renee Vogt. Dennis Eric Vrem. Arthur D. Wade. Lawanda Janae Waite. Darcel Deborah Walker. Latoya Ward. Danielle Marceline Washington. Gregory F. Worf Sr. Karen Weifenbach. Anthony Weldon. Amanda Lynn Wentworth. Chanel Whitehead. Reginald Whitmore. Karen Wilkins. Tamika Williams. Bernadette Ann Wiltshire. Brian Wimpy Jr. Lloyd Ronald Wright Jr. Victor Joel Yamson. Esther Yates. Muse Sirak Isahak. Danielle Young. Janelle Nicole Young. Everett Howard Ewell. Nina Zati. Jeremy Arthur Zer. Philip Lee Joe. Yolanda Rice. Jason Matthew Freeman. Collins Njoku. Jason Scott Henderson. Rupinder Kaur. Hua Go. Paula Nolan. Franklin Ofoha. Charles Yuka. Alice O'Harry. Kelly Elizabeth Crawford.
At this time, Dr. Matthew Prinius, Acting Vice Provost and Dean of the Undergraduate School, will present our bachelor's degree candidates. Dr. Prinius.
Thank you, Dr. Sini. It is now my distinct honor to present our bachelor's candidates. These women and men have completed degrees in areas including business, communications, cybersecurity, criminal justice, environmental management, public safety, history, and psychology, among others. Over the course of their studies, they have learned to think critically, communicate clearly, and work collaboratively. Let me also call your special attention to those candidates graduating with academic honors as designated by the honor cords they wear. Candidates for Bachelor of Arts, Bachelor of Technical and Professional Studies, and Bachelor of Science, you will now be directed to the stage for individual recognition. Please remain in your seats until you are invited to come forward. Let's begin with the first bachelor candidate.
Good job.
Eddie Acedevo. Desmond K. Adams. John Adesalu. Amy Adriani. Gabinga Akindele. Deborah Jean Alexander. Jamal Altair Taha. James Anthony Amaker Jr. Kosivi In Amagan. Salam Gebre Asrat. Sarah Elizabeth Austin. Katyanda Ballard cum laude. Roberto Bagay Jr. Scott Bales. Oluwasum Enitan Bankole Kasim. Lisa Michelle Banks. Carol Ann Barr. Alphamidi Berry. Catherine Marie Bell. Jessica Bowman. Zachary Andrew Beaver. Teresa Bennett. Mary Lynn C. Bett, Nirav Balala, Zachariah Bingham, Tabitha Blanford, Barbara Jensen Blau, summa cum laude, Laura Nicole Bowling, Mauro Giovanni Borjas, Tracy Burke, Kathleen Coyne Bowers, Charmaine Olivia Bowles, Shalonda Ray Branch, Yanita Brigante, Lawanda Shantoa Britt, Anthony Eugene Britton Jr., summa cum laude, Donna Lee Brooks, cum laude, Sharon Brown, Jerome Brown, Siddiq Brown, David Burnett, cum laude, David Burns, Audrey Kane, magna cum laude, Patricia Calvert Stewart, Barbara Veronica Calkins, Damon Kamara, Nancy Canales, Megan Cantor, Russell Card, Rosa Fuentes Carrillo, Clark Ignacio Casas, Jessica Nohelia Castellan, Kelvin Cepeda, Christopher Michael Chalky, Jessica Charters, cum laude, Kyle Chick, Kimberly Church, Kristen Clark, Amanda Francine Cahoon, Tanya Lee Cohoon, Colleen Connor, George Contreras, Jameson Avery Cook, Paula Cooper, Renita Lee Correa, Tashea Coates, Josue Habaku Colette, Paula Ann Coluzzi, Yalitza Conover, Jennifer Creets, Charisse Virginia Crossland Womack, Holly Cruz, Seda I. Cruz Abreu, Cleopatra Cummings, Eric C. Curtis, Eden Sharia Daniel, Jamal Daniel, Susan Darigo, John William Roosevelt Davis, Amanda Lynn DeWander, Paula Del Pozo, Camille Dell, Brian J. Delmagart Jr., summa cum laude, Jennifer Diaz, Mustafa Diop, Jamie Donnelly, Jimmy Donnelly, Alyssa Lynn Dorman, Elizabeth Birch, Pamela Drabo. Terica Marie Duncan. Ellis Preston Dyson Jr. Michael Effinger. Malika L. Stephen DeWitt Elmore. Maya Elzine. Rosie Evans.
Famina Farouk. Naisha Felder. Marquita Ferguson. Tanilia Renee Ferguson. Esteban J. Ferrer. Denise Melanie Fisher, summa cum laude. Barbara Fordham. Caitlin Fox, magna cum laude. Gwendolyn Francis. Philip R. Frank. Alfred Melvin Fronefield. Gerusa Furlan. Elika Gadsden. Nana Gaisi. Andrea Garcia Glazner. Kathleen Gervais, summa cum laude. Patrick Gill. Deirdre Michelle Gilliard. Dana Gillum. Susan Gage Gilson. Adewale Adio Jiwa. Jasaira Glover. Elise Galin. Antonio Vega Gaicochea. Douglas Goss. Lauren Good. Samantha Marie Kramer. Cynthia Green, summa cum laude. Linda Marie Green Barber, cum laude. Andrew Garrett Griffith, summa cum laude. John J. Guevara. Melinda Gunavan. Dwayne Christian Gunther. An Kwok Ha. Amanda Harefield. Eustathios Harlepas, cum laude. Justin Harris, cum laude. Valerie Harvey. Mashal Hassan. Lance Hassel. Jagger Hatfield. Justin Hazlett. Makeda Hurd. Tomika Hurd. Catherine Teresa Jo Hearn. James Charles Hernandez. Eliana Herrera. Richard Mark Hilditch. Richard Daniel Hildreth. Sherry Hilscher, cum laude. Lakeisha Hines. Mark Hoffman. Misono Hosaka, magna cum laude. Rachel Howard. Alexander Huamani, Nithya Hyson, Victor M, Amina Jackson, Keisha Jackson, Rayleigh Jala IV, Chirnoya Rose Jallo, Gloria Janowski, summa cum laude. Adriana Simone Johnson, Jessica Johnson, Charlene Annette Johnson, Carla R. Jones, Pamela D. Jones, Rodriguez Jones, Marlene D. Jordan, Jamie Rafael Juarez, Terrence Junker, Roland Kiwaku Kalepe, Kristen Nicole Caracostas, Brittany Keller, Courtney Lynn Killam, Rumnea Kelly, Troy Demetrius Kelly, Missy Knight, Ali Kuchek, Robin Krieger, Osman Siri Kendawi, Birhane Kebede, Daria Kutkovaya, Bolanle Taiwo Ladele, Kristen Lake,
William Lane, cum laude. Eleanor Lee. Yacy Leal. Jordan Lee. Sun Kim Lee. Monica Lee. Bruce Oscar Leathead Jr., cum laude. Cindy Lemus. Hakeem Tyrone Luter. Faith Lingano. Fawn Lipe, cum laude. Stephen R. Lucas. Todd McCubbin. Arthur Edmund Mason, Jr. Nicholas Eric Millay. Hamid Anibal Maldonado. Donald M. Mamula, Jr. Kristen Mars. Adrienne Marshall. Kelly Ann Marshall. Regina Martin. Elacio Martinez. James C. May, summa cum laude. Messia Kawavin McCain. Anna McComber. David Scott McCord, summa cum laude. Anthony McCormick, summa cum laude. William McFarland. Daniel McGorty. Teresa McKinstry, cum laude. Jonathan Menard. Betty Akua Surwa Mensa. Jessica Mercado. Janet Mafon. Thomas Michelle. Ray Milky Jr., cum laude. Cipriana Milford. Jacqueline Minaya. Robin Mitchner Jackson. Jonathan E. Montgomery, cum laude. Delrina Mosley. Thomas T. Mulata. Douglas Longley Murphy II. Eric Myers, cum laude. Chenatip Peace Naksumban. Giovanni Arash Namdar. Daniel Teklu Nagash. Angela M. Nelson. Janet L. Norris. Denise Fiorella Navoa. William Nuth. Ramon Agnita, magna cum laude. Olamide Uganeki. Amanda Otto. Michael James O'Toole, summa cum laude. Pooja Ori. Rachel Marie Oler. Lawrence Palmer. Megan Palmer. Angela H. Parker. Melanie Perkins. Lawrence Marie Veronique Perry. Ryan Mark Andre Petgrave. Christy Pfaffenberger. Lee Poor, magna cum laude. Cheryl Pope, summa cum laude. Jody Lynette Posey. Brandon Joel Postanowitz. Carmen Crassus, cum laude. Tay Liera Price. Kimberly Wynn Pringle. Renata Marie Hutz. Mandy Marie Quarry. Florence M. Randolph. Megan Elizabeth Rapole. Edward Reeder. Nicole A. Reeder. Jacqueline Rice. Nestor Reyes. Tyrell Z. Richards. Janine Cecilia Riley. Benjamin Israel Rivera. April Nika Roberson. Marley Rock. Stephanie Roseman. Kevin Glenn Ross. Brent Ruggles. Shyla Rumsey. Roderick Sagan.
Francisco Javier Salinas. Gloria Roxanne Salmarin. Monica Ines Sandoval. Brian Alindogan Santos. Modupe Sarat. Kristen Schultz. Kiera Scott. Ebony Skurlock. Brandon Sie, cum laude. Anup Sebastian. Lee Edward Serrani. Timothy R. Serrano. Erica Shade. Samantha Lynn Shanahan. Kevin Shell. Carlton Shepard. Jacqueline Denise Seibert. Danielle Kristen Sigamoni. Sharon Simmons Cook. Siobhan L. Simonian. Sivan. Catherine Simpson. Renee Octavia Small. Antonio Smith. Marsha Smith. Rochelle Smith. Shaheda Cheryl Smith. Mashonda Smith Woods. Kelvis Snell. Salvador Solis. Kevin Stephen Sparks. Ronald Spruill. Monica Stagg, magna cum laude. Holly Sullivan. Veronica Taylor. Stephanie Nicole Taman. Kimberly Terrell. Heidi Lynn Thaw, magna cum laude. Brandy Thompson. Victoria Lynn Thornberry. Heather Tolson, magna cum laude. Eugene Tom, magna cum laude. Tracy Toppin. Jim Daniel Torres. Adam Traore. Tanisha Triplett. Ashley Brooke Trout, summa cum laude. Ibrahim Touray. Jordan Tyler. Carrie Tam. Kathy Underwood. Janae Thompson English. Jorge Urgiles. Tyler Lorenzo Velasquez. Rochelle Akpede Vianu. Wanda Sue Weiss, cum laude. Vanessa Waite. Linda Warwick. Antoinette Washington. Lindsay Watkins. Audrey Webb. Lindsay Welsh. Olutungo Abiola White. Elise Whitfield. Lakeisha Y. Whitted. Courtenay J. Whittington. James Edward Whittle. Stephanie Wilcomb. Harold Williams. Lakeisha Tawan Williams. Nakia Williams Cooper. Ronan Wiranata Kumsa. James Wood. Thomas Worthington. Christina Lane Winecoop. Rashida Catrice Wynn. Martin Yorgoff. Zuryana Yorgoff. Olabarin Owolabi Nasir I. Dana Manning. Eden Tekeste. Katha Stewart. Shamika Thompson. Imani Washington. Eunice Tracy Welch.
graduates please rise? President Mieres, in accordance with the recommendations of the faculty of University of Maryland University College, the deans and I request that you confer upon these candidates the degrees, as in each case is appropriate, in recognition of their successful completion of all requirements.
Under the authority granted by the State of Maryland to the Board of Regents of the University System of Maryland, and by that board delegated to me, I hereby confer upon you your degrees, as in each case is appropriate, with all the right, privileges, and responsibilities thereto are pertaining. Congratulations, graduates.
Now, to symbolize your new status as graduates of University of Maryland University College, and on the count of 3 but not before, please move your tassels from the right side to the left side of your caps. 1, 2, 3. Congratulations. Before we conclude with the recessional, I invite you to join us in the singing of our university alma mater, led by Janae Thompson English. The words to the alma mater can be found on page 101 of your program. Will the audience please rise?
We honor you and thank you for all that you have done to help us on our journey and make us all as one. So with this song of glory, let's say your name aloud. UMUC, UMUC, forever standing proud. The time we spent together at night or in the day, in many different places, at home and far away, unites us and then guides us. Now we're your precious jewels. UMUC, UMUC, the dearest of all schools. For when our days have ended and we are bound no more, still pause and linger. The sound of distant trumpets that echo this refrain. UMUC, UMUC, eternal shall remain. Congratulations to everybody that graduated with me today.
You may now be seated. Thank you, Janae, for that beautiful rendition of our alma mater. And now, UMUC graduates, as you go forward from this day, wear your UMUC pins with pride. We look forward to your continued association with our university as new members of our alumni family. Congratulations.
The recessional will now begin with the platform party, followed by the faculty and then our graduates. We ask our audience to please remain at their seats until the recessional has concluded. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for your cooperation and congratulations.